either ever taken a new medication or, heard about like cutting-edge medical treatments.
Hmm.
Those breakthroughs happen because of clinical trials.
Yeah.
And you know me, I love a good behind-the-scenes look.
Right.
So today we're diving deep into how AI is shaking up the world of clinical trials, particularly when it comes to data.
Oh, it's fascinating to see how artificial intelligence is impacting an area that's been heavily reliant on manual processes for so long.
Exactly. We're taking our cues from XLM's continuous TV weekly newsletter, issue number 037, titled, Can Your CDMS Do This?
Okay.
They're focusing on AI in GXP manufacturing, and let me tell you, this stuff is seriously mind-blowing.
Wow.
But first, we need to understand what a CDMS, or clinical data management system, actually does.
Hmm.
Imagine it as the control center for a clinical trial,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Think of it as a massive organized library where all the information from a clinical trial is stored and analyzed. Everything from patient details and medical history to treatment records and lab results, it's all in there.
Okay, so it's like a giant digital filing cabinet.
But way more sophisticated than that, right?
Absolutely.
The newsletter breaks down how traditional CDMS platforms work, and it's quite a journey. It starts with data collection from all sorts of places like clinical sites, labs, and even patient records. But here's the thing, a lot of this data is still entered manually.
That's right. And as you can imagine, relying on humans to input all that data can lead to errors. It's time-consuming and can really impact the reliability of the data. It's like trying to build a skyscraper with a hand trowel.
Oh, wow.
It's possible, but not very efficient.
Wait, so they're basically inputting potentially life-saving information into spreadsheets.
Yeah, well,
That sounds incredibly risky.
there are systems in place to catch errors,
Okay.
but it's definitely a challenge. The next step is data validation, where the system checks for accuracy and makes sure everything meets those strict regulatory guidelines.
Compliance, I bet that's a whole other beast.
Absolutely. This step is crucial for ensuring patient safety and the reliability of the trial results. But it often involves a lot of human oversight, which can create bottlenecks.
So even with these checks and balances in place, it seems like traditional CDMS are hitting their limits, especially when you consider how fast medical research is moving these days.
Exactly. That's where the limitations become really apparent. They're not as scalable or adaptable as they need to be in today's world of big data and rapidly evolving research. It's like trying to navigate rush hour traffic with a bicycle.
Oh, geez.
You might get there eventually, but it's going to be a struggle.
Okay, I'm starting to see the problem here. So what happens after the data is validated?
Then comes the data analysis phase. Researchers use complex statistical tools to make sense of all that information and try to extract meaningful insights. Finally, they compile their findings into reports that need to meet those good clinical practice, or GCP, guidelines.
So it's a long and intricate process even before you get to the actual research and analysis.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder they're looking for ways to streamline things.
Precisely. And that's where the concept of an AI agent comes in. Think of it as a super-powered assistant within the CDMS designed to automate and streamline many of these tasks.
Okay, now we're talking, this is where it starts to sound like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It's pretty remarkable. Instead of relying on manual processes, you have an AI agent that can process information, learn from data, and make decisions all at a speed and scale that humans simply can't match.
So it's like giving your CDMS a massive brain boost.
Right?
Tell me more. What exactly can these AI agents do?
Well, for starters, they can handle something called natural language processing, or NLP. This allows users to communicate with the system using everyday language.
Wait, hold on. You mean
Well-
I could just talk to the CDMS and it would understand me?
Well, it's wild. It's not quite that simple, but it's getting close. For example, instead of writing complex code to create CDMS scripts, you could potentially just describe what you want the script to do, and the AI agent would generate the code for you.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's like having a programmer on call 24/7.
Exactly. And it not only saves a ton of time, but also significantly reduces the risk of errors.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. What else can these AI agents do?
Well, the newsletter goes on to describe how they can automatically load and execute those scripts, optimize navigation paths within the system group, and execute workflows, and even generate those GXP-compliant documents we talked about earlier.
Hold on. It can basically handle all the tedious, time-consuming tasks that would normally take a team of people to manage? That's insane. And it does all of this while ensuring accuracy and compliance.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. It doesn't just follow instructions. It learns and adapts over time, constantly analyzing data and refining its processes.
So it's not just a mindless robot, it's constantly learning and evolving.
Right.
It's almost like it's becoming smarter as it works.
You could say that.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic system that can keep pace with the rapid advancements we're seeing in clinical research. It's truly a game changer.
Okay, I officially feel like I'm living in the future. But I have to ask, with all this talk about automation and efficiency, where does human oversight fit in?
That's a crucial question. And the newsletter actually addresses that specifically in the context of data privacy.
Ah, right. With all this sensitive patient information floating around, privacy has to be a top priority.
Absolutely. And that's where the AI agent's ability to scrub data for privacy compliance comes in.
So it's not just about speed and efficiency, it's also about ensuring that patient information is protected every step of the way.
Exactly. The AI agent can automatically identify and remove any information that could identify a specific patient, ensuring that researchers can analyze the data without compromising anyone's privacy.
That's reassuring to hear. But I'm also curious about how this AI agent fits into the larger picture of clinical research. Is it meant to be a standalone solution, or does it work with existing systems?
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of what makes this technology so powerful. The AI agent isn't designed to replace everything. It's meant to integrate seamlessly with existing clinical systems and databases.
So it's like adding a turbocharged engine to an already impressive machine. What are the implications of that kind of integration?
Well, it creates a connected ecosystem where data can flow freely between different systems, breaking down silos and fostering collaboration between various teams involved in a clinical trial.
I see. So it's not just about making one part of the process faster. It's about streamlining the entire flow of information.
Yeah.
That's pretty revolutionary.
It is. It's about moving away from fragmented systems and towards a more holistic, integrated approach to clinical data management.
This is all incredibly impressive, but I have to admit I'm a bit intimidated by all this advanced technology.
Mhm.
Is this AI-powered CDMS only for tech wizards? Or can mere mortals like myself wrap our heads around it?
That's a valid concern, but don't worry. The newsletter emphasizes that this AI-powered CDMS is designed with a user-friendly interface, making it accessible to everyone, even those who aren't particularly tech-savvy.
So it's not just for the coding elite, it's designed for everyone involved in the clinical trial process. That's fantastic.
Exactly. It's about democratizing access to these powerful tools and making sure everyone can benefit from them.
This is all incredibly exciting. But I'm also starting to wonder about the bigger picture. We've talked about the technical side of things, but what about the implications of all this? What does it mean for the future of clinical trials?
That's a great question, and one that the newsletter dives into as well. Let's explore some of those far-reaching benefits of integrating AI into clinical data management. One of the most significant benefits is the sheer increase in efficiency and accuracy. By automating those manual processes, we're not only saving time but also minimizing the potential for human error.
That makes sense. I can't even imagine the pressure of manually inputting all that data, knowing that even a small mistake could have huge consequences.
Exactly. Accuracy is paramount in clinical trials, and this increased efficiency translates to faster drug development timelines. Imagine a future where life-saving treatments reach patients years, maybe even decades earlier than they do today, all thanks to AI accelerating the process.
That's a game changer, especially for people facing serious illnesses. I mean, time is of the essence when you're waiting for a potential cure.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the challenges of scalability and adaptability. Traditional CDMS often struggle to handle the massive volume and complexity of data generated in modern clinical trials. But these AI agents can easily adapt to the ever-growing demands.
It's like they're built for this era of big data. They don't get bogged down by the sheer amount of information. It's almost like they thrive on it.
Exactly. And they can seamlessly adapt to changes in trial protocols or regulations without requiring major system overhauls. It's about having a system that's nimble and responsive in the face of constant change.
So it's not just about doing things faster. It's about handling complexity, adapting to change, all those things that are essential in a field like medical research, which is constantly evolving.
Precisely. And then there's the very real issue of cost. Clinical trials are notoriously expensive, but AI-powered CDMS can significantly reduce the overall cost.
That's huge. If we can find ways to make clinical trials more cost-effective, it could open up opportunities to develop treatments that might not have been financially feasible before.
Exactly. It's about making medical innovation more accessible and sustainable. And then, of course, there's the critical aspect of compliance and risk management. AI agents can play a vital role in ensuring that clinical trials adhere to all those stringent regulatory requirements.
So it's not just about speeding things up. It's about making sure everything is done by the book, reducing the risk of costly errors or delays.
Exactly. And by automating many of the compliance-related tasks, we free up human researchers to focus on the aspects of research that require human expertise, things like data analysis, interpreting results, and ultimately pushing the boundaries of medical knowledge.
So it's not about replacing human researchers, it's about giving them the tools and support they need to be even more effective.
Yeah.
It's like a powerful synergy between human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
I like that synergy. It captures the essence of this evolution. It's about combining the best of both worlds.
Now, this newsletter focuses primarily on the technical aspects, but I'm curious about the bigger picture. What does this all mean for the future of clinical trials? And how do we ensure that these powerful tools are used responsibly?
Those are great questions, and ones that the industry is actively grappling with. It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize clinical research, but we need to approach it with careful consideration.
So it's not just about embracing the technology, it's about understanding its implications and figuring out how to use it ethically and effectively.
Precisely. It's about having a thoughtful and measured approach.
Well, this has certainly been a fascinating deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from the nitty-gritty details of AI agents to the potential impact on the future of clinical trials.
It's been a pleasure exploring these topics with you.
It feels like we've only scratched the surface of what's possible with AI in clinical trials.
We have, and that's what makes it so exciting. There's so much potential here to truly transform the way we conduct research and develop new treatments.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious about one last thing. We've talked a lot about the technology and its potential benefits. But what about the human element? Where
Right.
does that fit in all of this?
That's a crucial point. As we embrace these advancements, we can't lose sight of the fact that at the heart of every clinical trial are real people, real patients.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of innovation and forget that we're ultimately dealing with human lives and well-being.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to remember that technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
So it's not just about developing the technology, it's about using it responsibly and ethically.
Precisely. And that requires careful consideration, ongoing dialogue, and collaboration across disciplines. We need to involve ethicists, policymakers, patients, and the public at large to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits everyone.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads.
Yeah.
We have this incredible opportunity to leverage AI for the betterment of humanity, but we need to choose the right path.
I agree. It's a pivotal moment, and the decisions we make now will have far-reaching consequences.
Well, this has been an incredibly thought-provoking deep dive. I feel like I have a much better understanding of not only the technical aspects of AI in clinical trials, but also the broader implications for the future of medicine.
It's been a pleasure exploring these complex and fascinating topics with you.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI and clinical trials. It's a rapidly evolving field, and we'll definitely be revisiting this topic as new developments emerge. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing.